In this video, I'm going to test the best HID and LED fog lights to show you how the best of the best stack up. The 2009 to 2018 Ram has two unique fog light assemblies, one that is vertical and one that is horizontal. If your truck is from the year range 2009 to 2012, you have the horizontal fog lights. They use a bulb size of 9005. If you have a newer Ram truck from around 2013 to 2018, your bulb size is a 9006. We have purchased hundreds of unique LED bulbs over the year to answer the question like, what is the best aftermarket bulb for my Ram fog light? So let's just get on with the test. We took about 10 of the best bulbs and we're gonna put those in the fog lights of these Rams now. We're gonna take the truck and back it 25 feet from the wall. We're gonna measure the light output on the wall with a digital lux meter. That's going to measure the actual usable brightness at that one point on the wall. That is gonna be our benchmark. We're then going to take the LED bulbs and the HID bulbs and put them up against that to see the percent change. Keep an eye out for the percent change. We want to know which one is brighter, but remember, brightness doesn't always mean better. Just because the bulb is brighter doesn't mean that it's got a refined beam pattern. So let's start with the horizontal truck first. This bulb is a 9005 size. The stock halogen bulb comes in at 100 maximum lux, and that is terrible. Look at the color first off. This is a dingy yellow or orange color, and this is the last thing you want when you're driving around. Obviously, a lot of the vehicles you see nowadays has that bright white color. Not only is it a more modern look, but it's much brighter than what you see here. Another thing to keep an eye out for is the width. This is a fog light. It's gonna help you see in the ditches. So the last thing you want is a fog light that's not as wide as your stock halogen lights. So the first upgrade we're gonna put in this fog light is the SV4 bulb. The SV4 bulb comes in at 470 maximum lux. That's 370% brighter than your original fog lights. Now some might say you don't want extremely bright fog lights. However, SV4 begs to differ. They have an extremely wide and bright white beam pattern. You can see towards the center as it goes down, it gets a little bit less bright. That's done on purpose so that way you don't blind yourself when you're driving down the road. The best part is if you upgrade to the SV4, they have a 2-year warranty. The SV4 bulb also comes in at around $200. Something to consider. Now the cool part about the SV4 bulb is they also come in yellow. Since you are converting to a yellow light here, you are going to lose a little bit of brightness. And that's okay because these are still 400 maximum lux. They are 300% brighter than your original fog lights. These also have a 2-year warranty, coming in around $190 as well. Up next, we installed the Morimoto 2-stroke 3.0. This bulb right here is one of the newest bulbs with some of the greatest new technology out there. We've done a review on this bulb, so if you want to know the in-depth specs on this, check that video out. Check out this light output. Not only is the width there, the color's there, but it's designed to optically correct. Morimoto did an incredible job at making a bulb that's perfect for your Ram. It comes in at 440 maximum lux, which is 340% brighter than your original halogen lights. The best part is these ones have a 3-year warranty. The SV4 that we just showed you had a 2-year warranty. That's something else to consider. The price comes in at around $205. A little bit more than the SV4, but you do get a 3-year warranty. Just like the SV4, the Morimoto 2-stroke 3.0 does have a yellow chip as well. It looks like this. It's definitely a more deep and refined yellow. Now the yellow chip here does lose a lot more brightness than the white counterpart, coming in at 210 maximum lux. The white version comes in at 440 maximum lux. So yes, if you do get a yellow 2-stroke 3.0, it's not going to be as bright as, say, the SV4, but it's still a good option, coming in at 110% brighter than stock. These also have a 3-year warranty and come in at around $205. The next most popular LED bulb that we installed in this Ram is the GTR Lighting Ultra2. This bulb is one of the most popular bulbs we've ever sold on Headlight Revolution, and there's a good reason for it. For the fog lights on this Ram, it definitely shows up in the light output. As you can see here, check out the width. The width is something I really want you guys to dive in here. The width on the GTR Ultra2 bulb is the widest beam pattern that I've seen in this reflector housing. The Ultra2 bulb comes in at 530 maximum lux, which is the brightest so far bulb that I have shown you, coming in at 430% brighter than stock. The coolest part is these have a limited lifetime warranty. So if you ever have problems with a GTR Lighting Ultra2 bulb, we're here to help. This bulb comes in at around $220, but totally worth it for that beam pattern, that maximum lux output, and the limited lifetime warranty. Now putting in the GTR Lighting Ultra2 with yellow, it looks like this. It's an extremely wide and bright beam pattern. It looks a lot like the white version of the GTR Lighting Ultra2. You do lose a little bit of brightness converting over to the yellow at 390 maximum lux. These still come in at 290% brighter than your original lights, and they've got a limited lifetime warranty. If all you want is a bulb where you can set it and forget it, this is a really good option. These ones, just like the white version, come in at around $220. This is the CSP mini bulb. This CSP mini bulb is very good in a fog light application, especially when there's not a lot of room. It's also a little bit better on your pocketbook. When we put it in this truck, I was actually surprised to see how bright it really was, coming in at 410 maximum lux. That's 310% brighter than your original lights. You're still getting that bright white color, and you're getting a 2-year warranty. This is a GTR Lighting product, coming in at around $150. Unfortunately, there's no yellow CSP mini bulb. This next bulb's a real popular bulb for people that like to overland, take their Rams off-road. This is the Xtreme LED Pro from Xenon Depot. It comes in 460 maximum lux, which is 360% brighter than your original halogen lights. They have a 2-year warranty, coming in at around $143. I think the coolest part on these LED bulbs is the heat sink. They have this heat sink here, a metal heat sink that you can fan out to dissipate the heat properly, so they last a lot longer. The Xenon Depot bulbs also have a yellow bulb just like this. If this is the shade of yellow that you like, maybe the Xenon Depot bulbs are right for you. They do lose quite a bit of light output, coming in at 170 maximum lux. That is still 70% brighter than stock. In person, at the wall, this looks like a really good fog light upgrade. These also have a 2-year warranty, coming in at the same price at around $143. Now, if you're not looking to spend hundreds of dollars, but you still want that bright white color and you want to upgrade to an LED bulb, the Xenon Depot CMB bulb is a really good option. They come in at 150 maximum lux, so they are 50% brighter than your stock halogen bulbs. They have a 1-year warranty and only come in at about $43. I was really surprised to see how much bang you get for your buck from Xenon Depot. This is the 5000K version. They also have a 6000K version that looks like this. The 6000K version is 180 maximum lux, coming in at 80% brighter than your stock halogen bulbs. The look is a little bit more cool blue. It is brighter, and it has the 1-year warranty just like the other one, coming in still at around $43. Now let's take these fog lights to the next level, and instead of upgrading to an LED bulb, let's upgrade to an HID bulb. Now you probably know by now that a lot of HID kits, you need to run 1, 2, 3 relay harnesses, and it's just annoying. It's the last thing you want. You don't want to zip tie a bunch of wiring up just to upgrade your fog lights. That said, the only kit that doesn't involve a bunch of other relay harnesses that we found that are even worth upgrading to is the GTR Lighting HID kit. I do only recommend using a 35-watt ballast because we don't want to melt the housing. They get extremely hot. What you're looking at is a 3000K bulb. It's definitely a much more warm color. It's close to yellow, but not quite. It's going to be really easy on the eyes when you're driving down the road. These come in at 660 maximum lux. That is 560% brighter than your original fog light bulbs. This so far is the brightest bulb we've put in the fog lights on this Ram. Also, the GTR Lighting HID kit has a limited lifetime warranty, but they do come out at about $330. If money is no issue, this is definitely the way to go. GTR Lighting has a couple different color temps, 3000K being a little bit more warmer, and 5000K as you see here. It's a little bit more blue, but to the naked eye, it's a pretty modern looking bright white. This is one of those go big or go home bulbs if you're upgrading your fog lights, because these come in at 790 maximum lux. That is 690% brighter than your original halogen bulbs in your reflector housings. That is by far the brightest fog light I have ever tested for the Ram. They also have a limited lifetime warranty and come in around $330. If you want to learn more about colors and how it affects your driving experience, Chris goes in depth and explains all the different color temperatures of HID bulbs. Now that's everything we've tested for the horizontal Ram fog lights. Obviously, HID is king in this application, but what if you have the newer vertical style fog lights? Let's check out those options now. So here we are 25 feet from the wall with your stock halogen bulbs. Using the digital lux meter, I've read 120 maximum lux. This is our benchmark, now testing all the other LED and HID bulbs we've found. Again, this is a 9006 bulb. It's got that dingy looking yellow or orangish color. It's not a modern white like we want. That's probably why you're watching this video, because you want a modern white fog light. But one other thing to notice is it's not very wide. Some of the LED bulbs and HID bulbs that I test have a lot wider beam pattern. In this vertical fog light assembly, that's really what you want. This is a fog light, but you also want to see in the ditches. The first bulb we're going to upgrade to is an LED bulb from SV4. This is the SV4 in white, coming in at 470 maximum lux. That is 291% brighter than your original halogen bulbs. The SV4 bulb is adjustable, so if you went this route, make sure you adjust it vertically so the LEDs are shooting left and right to hit the reflector housing properly. The last thing you want is a bunch of scattered light coming from your fog lights. Not all LED bulbs are adjustable, so keep that in mind when purchasing. The light output is a bright white color. It's wider than your original halogen bulbs, and it's definitely a bulb that we at Headlight Revolution would recommend in your RAM. They have a 2-year warranty and come in at around $190. Now, the 9006 bulb that you're putting in is generally a headlight bulb replacement. That means a lot of bulb companies don't actually make a yellow version like you see here. This is the SV4 Yellow. And one thing I've noticed after testing a lot of these lights is that the SV4 Yellow loses a lot less brightness than a lot of other bulbs that offer a yellow chip. Instead of 470 max lux like the white version, they come in at 440 maximum lux. That is still 266% brighter than your original fog lights. They have a 2-year warranty and come in at around $185. If you like this color yellow, this might be the bulb for you, especially because you don't lose that much brightness. This is, right off the bat, the brightest yellow bulb that I could find for these fog lights. Now we've got the GTR Lighting Ultra2 bulb. It's definitely one of my favorite bulbs because it usually comes out on top as being the brightest headlight replacement. For a fog light housing, it is no slouch. One thing I noticed about the beam pattern with the Ultra2s in here is how wide the beam pattern is. Compared to your stock lights, this one is much more wide. You're gonna see into the ditches a lot better. It comes in at 440 maximum lux, so not quite as bright as the SV4, but that's still 266% brighter than stock. The thing that makes the Ultra2 so good is that GTR Lighting offers a limited lifetime warranty. Yes, the bulb's a little more expensive, but that's a proper price to pay to not have to worry if anything would go wrong. The GTR Ultra2 does not have a yellow 9006 bulb. The next bulb we put in is the Morimoto 2-stroke 3.0, probably one of the most advanced LED bulbs that I've seen today. If you want to learn more about this bulb and all of the new modern technology, check out the video where Chris talks about this in the 2-stroke 3.0 video on YouTube. This is what the beam pattern looks like, and it comes in at 350 lux. That is 191% brighter than your stock halogen bulbs, and they have a 3-year warranty. That's a lot better warranty than I've seen on many other LED bulbs that we have tested here before. The price point is around $205. Moving on, we got the CSP Mini bulb. This is a GTR lighting bulb coming in at 370 maximum lux. That's 175% brighter than your stock halogen lights, and you get this beam pattern. It's not quite as wide as some of the other beam patterns I've seen, and there is a few horizontal lines, as you can see. Not necessarily a bad light output, especially because this is a fog light, but it's just something to consider. With a 2-year warranty coming in at around $145. That is cheaper than a lot of the bulbs I just showed you. The next bulb we tested is the Xenon Depot Xtreme LED Pro bulb. This is a real popular bulb for all the people that go overlanding. I see it on a lot of 4Runners, and I do see it on a lot of Rams. It's got this metal heatsink that you can fan out, and it'll cool the bulb a lot more properly. That's going to increase the longevity of the bulb and keep it from failing. The Xenon Depot bulb comes in at 330 maximum lux, which is 175% brighter than your stock halogen bulbs. The Xenon Depot bulb has a 2-year warranty, coming in at around $143. About the same price as the CSP Mini bulb from GTR Lighting. Xenon Depot's process to make it from a white chip to a yellow chip, you do lose a little bit more brightness than that of the SV4 bulbs going from white to yellow, but it's still a good option. Being 83% brighter than your stock halogen, still having that 2-year warranty, coming in at $143, it's not a bad option. Now, speaking of saving money, if all you wanted was to change it from a stock halogen bulb to a bright white color, and you wanted a little bit more light output, the Xenon Depot CMB 5000K bulb could be the answer. They are 170 max lux, giving you 41% increase in brightness. They have a 1-year warranty, and here's the kicker, they're $43. If you want an upgrade that's actually been tested for the same price as some of those Amazon bulbs, this is it. Xenon Depot also has it in a 6000K color, which gives you a little bit more blue hint to it. They are a little bit brighter than the 5000K, coming in at 180 maximum lux in this test. That's 50% brighter than your stock halogen bulbs. They still have the 1-year warranty, coming in at around $43. Now let's get to the fun part. We're gonna install the HID bulbs in this housing. Now, one thing to note, a lot of HID kits on the market today involves a relay harness, running a bunch of other wires that you don't want. The last thing I want to do is run a bunch of relays for just my fog lights. That's not even taking into account your low beam or your high beam if you're upgrading. If you are going to upgrade your fog lights to HID, what I would recommend is the GTR Lighting HID kit. Do not use a 55 watt ballast, as these bulbs would just get a little bit too hot and potentially ruin that reflector housing. What you see right here is a GTR Lighting 3000K HID bulb with a 35 watt ballast. The lux comes in at 560, maximum lux coming in at 366% brighter than your stock halogen bulb. That so far is the brightest thing that we have put in this fog light. These bulbs have a limited lifetime warranty, coming in at around $330. So yes, it's way brighter. You can choose the color temperature, but it is a little bit more expensive. The 3000K, as you know, has a more yellow look. This is what the 4000K looks like with a 35 watt ballast. They come in at 710 maximum lux. That's even brighter than the 3000K, coming in at 491% brighter. These have a limited lifetime warranty at the same price, around $330. The shape of all these HID beam patterns all look about the same, very tight, placed exactly where you want it for a fog light output. If you want that modern bright white color coming out of HID bulbs, you might want to look at something that's more like the 5000K bulbs from GTR Lighting. Using your 35 watt ballast, they come in at 760 maximum lux. That is 533% brighter than your original halogen lights. This has a limited lifetime warranty at around $330, and if I had a RAM, this is definitely the color I would choose. If you go higher up in the colors, like a 6000K, you're gonna start to lose brightness again. This is what the GTR Lighting 6000K HID bulb looks like with the 35 watt ballast. We've measured 640 maximum lux, coming in at 433% brighter than your stock bulbs. Again, limited lifetime warranty. It is around $330, but look, if you want something that's literally going to last the lifetime of your RAM, the HID kit is where it's at. So what have we learned? One, we learned that if you're gonna get an HID kit, get something that doesn't involve a bunch of relays. The last thing you want to do is run a bunch of relays and zip tie a bunch of wiring in your RAM. Also, if you're going to get an LED bulb, don't get something from Amazon and eBay that doesn't have a warranty and hasn't been tested like we do here. We want to make sure that you guys have the best in aftermarket lights when it comes to the fog lights on your RAM. But why would you stop there? Installing the fog lights are super easy. All you got to do is pull back the fender liner, reach up, turn your halogen bulb counterclockwise and pull it out. Unplug it, grab your LED or HID bulb, plug it in, push the bulb back into the housing, lock it in place clockwise, and you're good to go. If you want to go the extra mile, the Morimoto XB LED headlights, we've tested those before on the 09-18 RAM. They're extremely bright, they look way more modern, they have incredible cutoff lines when it comes to the light output. That is a definite upgrade over your original lights. If you want to see what else we've done to the 09-18 RAM, check out Headlight Revolution on YouTube or go to headlightrevolution.com, type in your year, make, and model, and you'll see everything that we have for you there.